Welcome to Sooner Esports Unraveled. I'm your host, Monlotus Benson, and today we're joined with Jody. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
So tell us a bit about yourself.
My name is Jody Farmer, and I'm the Assistant Intercollegiate Director for OU Esports, or University of Oklahoma. And I'm a fine arts student here, and it's just been, I don't know, what do y'all really want to know about me? I do a lot in this space, so I don't know really where to start.
Just like a bit about your hobbies and stuff. What do you like to do here about OU?
Well, I started at the University of Oklahoma's eSport program for streaming because as a disabled veteran, certain organizations were telling me they wanted me to tell my story or start like a podcast, but I had no idea where to start. So I applied for the OU Esports Club at the time and to join the stream team, and I got to know Mike. And he got to know a little bit about my story and what I do with Wounded Warrior Project. And I ended up becoming the first coach for Call of Duty and did that for 2 years. And then I've been moved up to intercollegiate director. Hobby-wise, I'm an art student, so art, technology, and culture has a lot to do with photography, graphics, videography, just a little bit of mixture of everything kind of put together.
Yeah.
So in my spare time, I do pictures, especially of like nature, animals, my kids, all that fun stuff. And then I like to cook too, so you can always come over and have a good meal at my house.
Oh, awesome. So what's it like being the Assistant Competitive Director?
It's ever changing. So this year, we've added 3 new teams or titles just in the first 2 months of school. So iRacing was the first title to join us, and then we also recently just added Splatoon 3 and FIFA, and those 3 titles couldn't be any more different from each other. So just kind of learning what these different titles are, what the students' passions are, and allowing them to kind of build their guidelines and rules for their teams, and then kind of just let them go.
Yeah.
It's been really interesting, and then those that have been around for a while know what's going on, so they're hopping right into team tryouts and getting things ready. So it's just, there's a lot going on, and then as soon as we get September done and over with, now we're in October, so we're looking at Red River Clash and putting together our rivalry competitions between UT and OU, and then in November we'll do Bedlam. So we'll get game titles together between OSU and OU. So there's always something going on to keep me busy or give me something to kind of dive deeper into.
That's awesome. And I know you mentioned a bit that you do some coaching. Would you like to talk a bit about that?
In July, I was approached by Women's COD, which is a league that started specifically for women competitors for Call of Duty. And it's kind of funny because it's a veteran who started the league, and she couldn't find coaches for Call of Duty. So she Googled women coaches for Call of Duty, and my name popped up with a video from an article I was in for Stars and Stripes when during COVID I was coaching the Call of Duty team. And so she just, out of the blue, gets a hold of me through the Discord server with Wounded Warrior Project, and I'm now the head coach for Team Effect, which is a pro women's team within the league, and 5 out of 6 of my competitors are in what they call the Challenger Series. So that's, you know, the top 500 players in the world are part of Challengers in Call of Duty, and I get to coach them, see them grow, and go into this new game title with them here at the end of the month.
That's amazing.
It's unexpected.
I guess, so it seems like you're very busy. How do you balance esports and coaching with your personal life?
Well, my daughter graduated high school in May, so she has her own life and job and things that she does. And if I wasn't going to school and doing these things, I'd just be at home. Being a disabled veteran and some of my injuries, a normal, what people would consider a corporate job didn't really work for me, which is why I came back to school. The military taught me to always stay busy. They constantly keep you busy, whether it's for deployments, training, and So just constantly doing something, which I think you'll also notice with our director, Mike, he never stops either. It just kind of becomes part of the course. And I think that's why I like studying art, because I can get lost in my artwork during class or for an assignment, and it doesn't seem like schoolwork.
Yeah.
And then the esports stuff is kind of my job, so there's a balance there with how I chose to study in college.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you think that some of your own personal experience has affected your career in esports?
It's amazing how much the esports world has embraced me because of my experience from the military. Becoming part of the esports world, it's the first place that I have been welcomed into that it doesn't matter that I'm broken. So it's just been amazing. My first semester with OU Esports, you know, I had a little bit of an issue where another college got mad at us because they were late to a tournament. And they automatically forfeit. Well, they still wanted us to play, and as a coach, it's up to me if I want to go ahead and let my guys play them. And I said no, because I wanted to stick to the rules that were put forward by the tournament.
Yeah.
And they just started attacking me socially. So on social media, in Discord, which was for the tournament, they just went off, and people from OU leadership and OU Esports went to battle for me. I didn't have to do anything myself. So having that kind of support from the leadership at the time gave me the courage to keep going and not back down.
Yeah.
And I think that was really important about the beginning of my esports journey here.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. I guess if there's one thing you could take away with your experience in esports, in like how it has affected or changed your life, what would that be?
That's a really interesting question, so I kind of have to think about it for a moment. But I think it's don't stop learning or challenging yourself. And, you know, Discord and streaming and all that was new to me during COVID. And I went from not really understanding what would work and literally how little technology knowledge you need to get started. So it's okay to just kind of put yourself out there and see where it takes you, because this wasn't on my radar.
Yeah.
And now here I am as, you know, the assistant director of a program at a prestigious school like University of Oklahoma. So it wasn't on my radar, but it's opened my eyes to new opportunities. And I think that that's an important lesson to take in life, especially with me doing my military stuff first. I thought I was kind of just done. You know, I didn't think I'd be doing something new or something different. And so just keep yourself open to new opportunities and step outside your comfort zone, I think, is the most important lesson I've learned over the last couple of years.
That's awesome. Well, I guess this is more of a fun question. What's your favorite video game? And if you could, would you live in the world of that video game?
My favorite video game of all time is Witcher 3.
Oh, okay.
I have over 290 hours in that video game across, and that's just on the PlayStation. I don't know how many hours I have on the PC or the Xbox, because I've played it on all three. And I think I'd love to experience just the idea of magic.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think it would be really great. So I would love to see it go into like VR, so that we can experience like the whole world.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for like things to catch up and for us to be able to immerse ourselves VR wise, because then we would kind of get a taste of what it would be to be in that world. Plus, it'd be interesting to see how food is different in that type of time period. Granted, it's not in the history of our world, but just to try it or, you know, experience it would be kind of cool.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
It was such a pleasure.
Yeah. And that was Sooner Esports Unraveled.